Yeah, you bet. That's fine.
Hey, man, you're on the air.
Spencer.
Yeah.
And Alan, Ed Epstein.
Dr.
Hey,
Epstein.
Eddie, how you doing?
How are you?
Good, thank you. I actually thought this was the Howard Stern show when I first pulled into it.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I'm just kidding. But I did have a question to ask Alan, and sort of an issue.
Sure.
And that is, personally, I think that if you could get perfect grafts with FUE technique, that without transection, that this would be the ideal treatment or way to obtain grafts.
Hey, Dr. Epstein, you're going to have to turn down your computer.
Yeah, I just turned it down because I was getting a lot of echo. But how's that better?
Yeah.
But my concern is that there's a lot of emphasis that's gone away from the final result, which is more hair, more density, and a lot of emphasis now on the donor scar. And I recognize all of the issues related to donor scars. But my question for Alan is, or Dr. Bauman, is with follicular unit extraction, a lot of I would say the majority of the grafts coming out do not have that protective fat around the bulbs that we get with strip harvesting. And does he have a concern in terms of that affecting graft growth and graft density?
Hey, Eddie, that's a great question. First of all, thanks so much for calling in. I really, really appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Epstein is president of the International Society of Hair Restoration Surgery, and it's really an honor to have you here on the show. But having done FUE since around 2003, 2004, I don't know if you were there in Orlando when I did the first live workshop at the Orlando Live Surgery Workshop. We pulled those grafts and showed that it could be done. But having done hundreds of cases with FUE, I can tell you the grafts grow great. They grow fine. And so I don't have any concerns whatsoever about the quality of the grafts. And I don't know how much of my response you heard, Eddie. First of all, I thank you really from the bottom of my heart for calling in. I really think that the more patients participate in these kinds of events, the more we're going to get the word out to the general public about the kind of work that's been done. And obviously, this is not a scientific forum, but I'm sure we doing 250 hair transplants a year here at my practice, and a good portion of them are FUE for the past 6-7 years. And I'll tell you that the FUE grafts grow, and they grow very, very well. I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't encouraged in those early days of FUE about the growth rates. So I have no qualms or concerns about doing, whether it be small sessions of FUE or large cases like what we're doing now with the NeoGraft. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Thank you, Alan.
You're right. A lot of people are concerned about the donor area now, and rightly so. I mean, I'm sure you have some cases, that you've worked on where you just wonder, hey, gosh, that scar just is not what I would normally expect to see. And I'm sure you have patients who are concerned about that. And FUE is certainly not a miracle. It's hard work to get the grafts. And the grafts are small and fragile, and they require extra effort to keep them moist and to keep them nice and tidy until they're implanted. But I'm thrilled with the speed of extraction that we're getting and the quality and quantity of the grafts each day. So we're moving forward. It's been great. The NeoGraft has been a fantastic, exciting piece of equipment that our patients take advantage of on a weekly basis.
And, Dr. Epstein, one thing that I've always, and you've known me for a long time, it's really my job to get the information out to the public. And, as things progress and as things evolve, then we can kind of make more of a hardcore or dogmatic decision about certain things. So far, at least speaking with Alan's patients and seeing what I've seen, it looks like, things are working out. And for everything that Alan has been telling us at the International Alliance of Hair Restoration Surgeons and, on the show has been, factual. His patients seem to be happy. Look, I'm not in there counting the grafts and seeing how many grafts are growing, per square centimeter. But, I'm excited about just the evolution of the field in general. and, you know, just getting people interested in hair transplantation and really educating them to the point where they know that, wait, this is a viable option now. Hair transplants can look good. It's not like the old days with the plugs. That's really where I think the industry itself has failed.
I think we're still suffering from the concept of plug grafting that's 30 years old.
That's right.
And it's been a hard image to reverse. And I think programs like yourself and a few others have really made an effort to give the non-medical community a more objective view of what's going on in the hair transplant world. And I will tell you that Dr. Bauman has been, I think, one of the great innovators. I mean, I have learned a lot from him over the years, and he is not afraid to try something new and is always thinking out of the box and against some of the more traditional thoughts, which I think have been extremely innovative.
Thanks, Eddie. I really appreciate it. You know, and it's important for listeners to understand, as I said, you know, NeoGraft and FUE is a tool or a technique, and just like any type of cosmetic surgery, you have to go to a surgeon who feels confident in whatever technique or technology that they use. And what works good in one person's hand may not necessarily work well in another's. So, you know, but if you've got a physician there who is, you know, on your side, then you know, you're halfway home.
And if I could just make one other point, I think the biggest restriction to me with FUE has been the potential, the high transection rate and the labor intensiveness. And if the OmniGraft and some of the other motorized or mechanized units out there can improve both of those, then I think that this procedure can really take off.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know, we've gathered an enormous amount of data on transection rates, and we will be publishing those in peer-reviewed journals. And it's just really exciting to see not only what we've come up with in terms of scientific data on transection rates with the NeoGraft versus manual harvesting, or even size of the punch, but also other finer points of the technique, like depth of tumescence and how much tumescence you need to get the job done. So, you know, all of that is obviously for the scientific community, but you know, it's very exciting. I will tell you that the transection rates are extremely low, and you know, I don't know if you track your transection rates on your linear harvesting or not, but I will tell you, it's the NeoGraft is impressive. There's no question, and maybe we can get one of the webcams to show you some of the grafts today. I don't know how well they'll show up on the Skype or on our regular feed, but I've got some really good close-up photos on my Flickr sharing site of what the grafts look like, and they're just beautiful. I mean, yeah. So right now we're repositioning to continue extracting. Of course, you know, the team is working together here to get the grafts that we need. We've already counted the grafts that have been pulled from Greg's scalp, but we've made some preliminary incisions back there, and those grafts have been just sitting in the scalp without having been extracted yet. So we're going to extract those. We expect that there's going to be probably another 300 there, which will take us to over 1,000 right away.
Now, Ed, I'm surprised that you're the only one of Alan's colleagues that have decided to call in, because, I mean, this really is probably the biggest online event that's ever been out there.
Well, you know, I'm not a regular on the Bald Truth, but I did get an email announcing it this morning, and so that's why I'm here.
I'm glad. I am glad.